Hello, Minecrafters. This is BBinME, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. This is episode 8 of my Building with BBinME series, and this is part 3 of the insane sky mob trap. So today we are going to wrap up our build of our insane mob sky trap, and I will tell you, it is insane. So I'm here on the platform out in the middle of the ocean, and we built our sky trap way up there in the sky. So it looks a little messy from down here. I've been doing lots of testing, and I'm going to show you what's going on when we get up there. So I'm going to head up the ladder, and I will see you soon. All right, here we are up on the platform, and you can see the machine in action up there. So what we have here is just a temporary platform that I put here while I was testing the machine. Each row of these chests represents one item that comes from the mob trap. There's 5 main items that you will collect a lot of. We've got tons of gunpowder, plenty of bone meal, lots of arrows, string, which you'll get a little less of, and plenty of rotten flesh. And that does not include the rare drops that you will get occasionally, but you will get tons and tons of these items. As I said, right now this machine is producing somewhere between 12 and 13,000 items per hour, so it builds up really quick. In fact, this silo here, this collection silo, can fill up in a couple hours. And so, you know, you can't go AFK overnight on this machine. Not as it exists right now, anyway. All right, let's get here to the main collection pad and see if we can get in here. You see some experience orbs here because I just died last time I tried to do this. And so let's try this again. So this is one problem we have with the machine, is that some mobs can build up on the platforms here. Basically, mobs that have featherfall boots, chicken jockeys, the little baby zombies that are riding chickens, they tend to float down and not die, and the occasional spider will get down here and not die. So that's one disadvantage of the machine. However, I haven't done anything about it because the advantage is that you can come in here and kill those mobs, not the spiders, but the others, and collect the rare drops, and so that's pretty handy. So I left it the way it is. All right, we'll just get out of the machine here if I can. Okay, all right. So for example, these are some drops that I had collected while I was testing the machine. All right. Let's head up to the main machine here, and you see I've got a little AFK platform that I'm testing. I'm playing with different AFK positions. I think the best place to be is you have to be greater than 23 meters from your spawning pads. If you're less than that, then you're not spawning on that area that is less than that. So you want to be 24 meters away. But not too far. If you get too far away, then mobs will start to despawn. So I think the sweet spot is between 24 and 32 meters. And so that's what I've been playing around with to see, if any of those positions increases or decreases my spawn rates. But yeah, we'll talk about that a little more later. Let me show you how this machine works. So it is seems like a complicated mess of redstone, but it really isn't all that complicated. I just had a compressed space to work with, and so things were a little tight. But basically what we have here is an etho timer or a hopper timer with, I don't know, about 26 items in it or so, around a 20-second timer. And when that triggers, I get a 1-tick pulse coming out of this monostable circuit. And that 1-tick pulse goes this way to turn on the water, and it goes through this delay circuit to turn off the water. So it actually is pretty simple. Let me go over here to one of the corners, and we'll show how this works. The way I have it set up is the water turns on all the pads, the whole pad, all at the same time. And so I've got various delays here. You'll notice I have a 4-tick delay on this so that it'll sync up with the delay that's going to be on that tower over there, that side. So let's go into the spawning pad here if we can. Do this without dying and show you what it looks like. All right. I think I still have an opening here where I was taking a peek. And hopefully we can get in here. All right. Hop on. Oh, all right. That was deadly. So these spawning pads are 30 by 8 of packed ice. And as you can see, I have a row of dispensers behind. Let me add a torch here so you can see. I have a row of dispensers behind that, which are triggered to turn off water basically once every 20 seconds or so. And that will push any mobs that are on the platform to the edge. And the water's triggered to be long enough to push any mob that's standing here. Basically, he will be pushed off. Unless he is running against the current, he will be pushed off of the platform. Okay, and so what we see is that I have 6 spawning platforms, so 6 pads on each side. Again, they're 30 by 8. 12 of those pads all together, so quite a bit of spawning space, and that's what enables us to have our high spawning rates that we're getting. All right, I'm just going to close these off here, and let me show you how the circuitry works. So you saw there's a row of dispensers on the back side of these spawning pads, and so this redstone tower here will trigger a signal that powers all of those dispensers. And of course I have one on the completely opposite side of the machine. If we can go all the way over here and down this path, yes, okay, there's going to be another redstone tower over there which will power that side. And this side was a little simpler. I just have the redstone tower here in the middle to power all the dispensers on this side. All right, so that's basically the machine, and it's fairly okay. I mean, 12 to 13,000 drop rate's not bad, but I want to amp this up, as I said, and we want to get much higher spawn rates. So I'm going to tear out some pieces of this machine, and we're going to rebuild it. To basically take advantage of some of the changes that came in 1.8.1. So 1.8.1 changed the spawning algorithm a little bit so that now I can actually move those dispensers out of the way to add more air blocks and increase spawning. So as you can see, my machine now is basically a big box. The box is to eliminate light, but it's also eliminating air blocks that are around the spawning area, and so it is decreasing my spawning rate. So I'm going to rebuild this machine slightly, well, quite a bit actually, and we're going to really increase the efficiency. All right, so let me get cracking on that. Okay, that was a ton of work. Let's head back to the machine and see how it's changed. All right. You can see that I have the nether portal up here on the collection pad, and so that's a big advantage. I don't have to climb up that huge ladder. I'm going to grab a camera here, and I'm going to kind of montage around the machine a little bit and give you a taste of how the machine looks. All right, so that hopefully gave you a taste of what the machine looks like in all its glory. And let's get up here on the roof and I can explain what we have. All right, so like our original sky trap, we still have our collection pad. The only difference, of course, is there are two. And I have them separated with this hallway, hoppers running underneath them to bring all the items into a central collection point. And for these hopper chain, I have put furnaces on top, and these are a block which has an inventory, and what it does is it reduces lag of the hoppers, so they're not constantly spamming looking for items on top of them. They check the inventory of the block above, and that's it. So it's actually a little more efficient, and I've just done that to reduce lag. But basically here we've got our trap chests and normal chests, all the items coming into it. You see there's a fair bit just while I've been hanging out here talking to you. And so yeah, you know, a little bit of a nicer collection area, I think, and works pretty good. Of course, it doesn't have a lot of chests, so it can fill up really quick, but it works for our testing purposes. And speaking of testing, I mean, how many items am I getting? Well, right now I'm getting about 23,000 items per hour. So we've almost doubled the efficiency of our machine. And I think at this point, I'm basically capping out because I'm hitting the mob cap. So the mobs that are spawning are hitting the mob cap before I can push them out of the machine. So just adding more spawning pads or adding another tower is not going to increase my efficiency at this point. I think I've maxed out. So I'm pretty pleased with 23,000 items per hour. I think that is awesome. All right, so let's get up here and take a look at the control mechanism, which has changed a little bit of a long climb here. Same as before, of course, but seems longer. All right. And I have a little bit of a cleaner room. You remember I was really compressed in the control room last time. So now with the control room centered between the two machines, I have a little more space. And we have our topper timer over here and triggering the monostable circuit. The only difference is that monostable circuit, I got a 2-tick pulse coming out of here and our delay circuit, but I also have another monostable on the other side, the opposite side, with a 2-tick pulse and its delay circuits. And so basically the two silos here are opposite. So if the water's turned on in that tower, it's off on that one. So I'm trying to maximize the amount of time that mobs can spawn in my machine. And as you can see, the control mechanism is a bit different. So what we have here is I've removed one row of the packed ice. Let me see if I can get down here. I removed one row of the packed ice and put the dispensers pointing upwards instead. And because of that, I had to drop my redstone lines down below, which was fine, but I had to use some repeaters. So I do have repeaters now, a huge amount of repeaters in this machine to make sure that it all triggers at once, but that's pretty cool. And I'm using these glass blocks here just to surround the pad because they won't reduce spawning rates. So now I have maximized as much air around these spawning pads as I can to increase the efficiency. So yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. Still 6 pads, of course, We still have our redstone kind of tower over here, and then the other two corners opposite, of course. And if we go on to the other side here, you know, same thing. So let me put a block here so we can get up. Same thing on this side. So it's just a complete mirror of the opposite side. And oh yes, so the roof, obviously I removed the walls, replaced it with all this, you know, fancy mechanism, and I've added a larger roof to eliminate any light on any of the spawning pads. So, you know, light level is 0 on all the entire spawning pad. So that's maximizing our spawning rates as well. And let's head up here. I have my AFK spot right here in the middle. I just have these open so I can see what's going on. And let's see if we can watch our machine here. So fair bit of mobs there being pushed off. All right, and then, you know, pushed off on this side. Let's check the rates here. So you can see, you know, the enter count going up and going down. I think it's capping out. It's hard to tell, but I do know that our spawning rates are about 23,000 items per hour, as I said. That's not including the rare drops. So yeah, it's a pretty amazing machine. So I am pretty pleased. I think our next step at this point is, as you know, I've started a new series, and series 4. It's a Let's Play series, and what I'm going to do is, obviously, I'm not going to build this machine in my Let's Play because it is, well, it's insane. And the reason it's insane is because the amount of resources required to build it was enormous. So I wouldn't recommend anyone build this machine unless you're crazy like me. But yeah, I think what we'll do as a comparison, I'm going to build a low-tech mob skytrap in my Let's Play world, and then we can do a comparison. So yeah, if you haven't checked out my Series 4 videos, check them out. I think they're a lot of fun, and in the next video here, upcoming video anyway, we'll do a build of a low-tech skytrap that's kind of similar to this design, and we'll compare the rates. All right, that's our episode for today. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. And if you have something to say, by all means, go to the comments section and leave a comment. Until next time.